Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm here with a new video for you guys today. It has been a couple of weeks since I shared this style that I did on Cam's hair, and now it's time to take it out. Many of you have been requesting for some time now a tutorial and some tips on how I unravel and take out her hair and prep it for the next style, and I'm going to be sharing that with you guys today. So I'm just quickly showing you how her hair looks after it's been in this style. It doesn't look too bad, but I'm happy to be taking it out. And the first thing that I like to do is to just section her hair. I find it so much easier to work in smaller sections, especially when it's like braids and plaits like this that you have to take out. So what I'm gonna do is to just put up the front section. I'm going to work on the back section first, so I'll be taking out the braids first. So the next thing that I like to do is to just take out any hair accessories that she might have had in her hair, making sure that I'm very careful as I do this. I don't want to pull or snag her hair. And then I'm going to grab this hair mist from Flora and Curl. I mean, I like to use dry all sprays as well, but for this video we're going to be using this one, and I spray a generous amount into the palm of my hands. What this does is it moisturizes my hands and my fingertips, but also I'm going to rub it along her hair since it's been in this style for some time and it is not as moisturized as it was initially. So I'm just clipping away the hair and I'm ready to start on the first braid, and I just very gently try to begin at the ends, and when I realize that I can't use my fingertips to do it, I don't force it. I just grab my comb and use it to open up the ends of her hair, and I will do this until I feel that I am able to move in with my fingertips. I try not to pull on the hair as I'm doing this. That's why you can see me holding it very firmly, because she is tender-headed, so any like major pulls or anything to her hair like causes irritation to her scalp, which I don't want to cause. So I just move very gently up the hair shaft, and once I think I can move in with my fingertips, that's what I do. And guys, a great tip here that I'm going to share with you: when you are doing hair, just make sure that your nails are always cut and filed. You don't want like any split ends on your nails that will be pulling on the hair. And I always make sure that before I do my girl's hair that my nails are in a good state. So as you can see, I have that first braid open and I'm just rubbing my fingers along it very gently, just to see if there's any shedding, because there will be some shedding after the hair has been in the style for a while. But look, there's hardly anything. And I'm going to gently spritz that hair mist again along her hair. Now honestly, if I was going to wash it the next day, I wouldn't do this, but because I'm gonna let her hair like have a little breather for a few days, I am like just misting it a little bit to keep it hydrated during that time. So now I'm on to the second braid, and as you can see, I'm just using my fingertips to try to open up the ends of her hair, trying to be as careful as possible because this is the oldest part of her hair and the ends tend to be very sensitive and fragile, and you have to be very cautious when you are handling them. And once I realize that I can't do it with my fingertips, I just grab the comb and do the same process that you saw me do before, taking my time going up the hair shaft but holding on to that braid, which is very important for me because I really do not want to irritate her hair or her scalp days before wash day. So I try to be very gentle, and it does not look, she looks bored, but it doesn't look like I'm causing any friction or pain to her head. And I find that it's easy to unravel the braids once you started off with 3 even sections. When you did the braid initially and you did not have to bar hair from another side to make the braid look even. So once you had done that initially, and once the hair was detangled properly, I love some detangled hair. Once that hair was detangled before you started your style, it is going to be a breeze to get it open. Again, also once the hair didn't get like wet, so if you didn't go swimming and it didn't get wet to get matted or tangled, it should open up fairly easy and quickly. So again, this section is open and I'm just going to spray that with some of the hair mist for hydration, do a little like finger detangle, run my fingers through, check for any like hairs that may have been coming out, just remove those, and we have moved on again to another braid. And I'm just doing the same process again. Sometimes it can be a bit tedious, but patience is a virtue, and patience takes you a long way. When it comes to handling the hair, trying to go through it rough and fast is not always the best thing, especially when you have to consider what the hair might have gone through during those weeks that it was in the style. You know, the elements, it's going to be dry, it's going to be a little bit matted, depending on the hair texture, it might be, you know, a little bit tangled. And occasionally I do come across some knots, and all I do is to grab my shears. I don't play around trying to get those little knots unraveled. What's best at that point is to just snip it off. I mean, hey, it's the best thing to do, so I feel no way in doing that. And then I just continue along. If you just try to stick there and get a little knot opened, you're gonna continue to just break the hair and knot it some more. Ain't nobody got time for that. So my advice would be to just like cut it and move on. And again, I am moving along the hair shaft, just doing a little run through for any shedding, a little light finger detangling, spritzing, and we are on to the next braid very confidently. And this usually takes me between 30 to 45 minutes depending on the style. And honestly, this usually happens in front of the TV. We just sit, you know, old school. She sits between my legs and I just open up her hair and we watch some TV, and the process goes very quickly. So as you can see, I've completed the whole back section, all the braids that were there, and it does create a beautiful braid out. But we are on to the front now to get the cornrows open, and that just means that the process is almost over. We're to the front of her hair, and I will be honest with you, when I grabbed this first cornrow to open it up and I looked at the braid part, I honestly was saying to myself, and she was at that point as well, as you can see, like, why did I do this so small? I would say that was a mistake on my part to do this one so tiny, because it's not safe for the hair, because it's very tedious to open it up, and when it's so tiny it's so much easier to break the hair. But nevertheless, I took my time. I was as careful as I could be in the situation, and I worked myself up along the hair shaft to get it open, but I won't do that again. It definitely was much smaller than I usually would do her hair. I don't know what I was thinking when I was doing it, but anyways, so when it comes to the cornrows, again, I try to hold it, you know, and try to split it very carefully. I'm coming into some of the most sensitive parts of her hair. She's very sensitive, like at the top and the middle of her hair, and some of the sides as well. So I try to be, you know, careful. She's a little bit more, you can see now, a bit more happier and jovial because we're almost finished. Usually as well, she jumps in at some point and helps me. I am trying to teach them how to, you know, care for their hair, and unraveling the hair is something that we are working on right now. It helps to speed up the process, and it also helps them to begin to, you know, learn and to understand the importance of their hair regimens and the handling of their hair. So as you can see, I have finished opening up that section, and we are just moving on, and she's eagerly waiting for me to offer, and there you go, offer her the opportunity to help. Usually when we're sitting in front of the television or whatever, She does help me quite a bit, but I completely forgot since I was doing it in this way. But yeah, she jumps in, she helps, and she's very careful. After some trial and errors with her and her sister, when they were basically like pulling out their hair, and I was so angry at the end. I was like, but y'all open up this hair really bad though. I think they have learned a lot from that time, and they're very careful now, and they understand the importance of not just like rushing through and pulling on their hair, because essentially they're damaging their own hair. But yeah, and repeat the same sets. I also like check her scalp occasionally to see if there's any like dry scalp, dandruff, and there are usually some areas where she gets it mostly, and it's usually like right up top here. So I just, you know, check through her scalp, make sure there's no fungus, like loads of what we call dandruff, dry scalp, anything like that, just in her hair. Obviously there will be product buildup, which is expected, but I also like check to see how healthy the scalp and stuff looks. And yeah, just continue to work along her hair. So we are almost finished. I'm on to the very last braid and cornrow, and I love how her hair looks. It has created such a beautiful braid out. Oh, I love it. So yeah, as you can see, as I'm doing this last one, this area is one of the most sensitive areas. So for some of it, I try to hold on to the braid, and I almost like detangle as well as I'm going along, which will help once I come to wash day. And again, look, I have a little knot that was there, and I waste no time in just snipping that off. Somebody wasn't happy, but hey, and that's it, guys. I am completely finished, and her hair is out. So this is what her hair looks like once it has been unraveled. Somebody has gone into full posing and model mode. She loves when her hair is out like this. It's just so big and fluffy, and I think applying the mist really helps. I'm just showing you how the ends of her hair look as well. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you again in our next video when I'm going to be styling or whatever I'm going to be doing with her hair. But please subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff, and we will see you again very soon. Bye.